Let's start with today vermicomposting. How vermicompost is prepared. First, what is vermicompost? We can be friends of plant by supplying them with nutrients, and nutrients we get from compost that we had earlier prepared by by the vegetable waste. We will also be we will also be very good friends to ourselves by making compost. Okay. Talking about friends, do you know that earthworms are called farmers' friends? How are they called the farmer's friend? A type of earthworm called redworm is used for composting. This method of preparing compost with the help of worms, redworm, is called vermicomposting. Let's try to prepare vermicompost. Let's dig a pit and it should be around 30 centimeters deep. Keep a wooden box at a place which is neither too hot nor too cold. uh, Let it be not directly under the sunlight. Let us now make a comfortable home for our redworms in the pit or in a box. Spread a net or a chicken mesh at the bottom of the pit or a box. You can also spread 1 to 2 inches of layer of sand as an alternative if you don't have a box. Now, some vegetable waste or fruit peels can be laid over the sand. We can also use green leaf, pieces of dry stalk or plants, husk, or pieces of newspaper and cardboard to spread over the layer of sand. Do not use shiny plastic coated paper because it will not be helpful. Dried animal dung could also be used to spread. Sprinkle some water to make the layer wet. Take care not to use excess of water. Do not press it hard because it has to be loose so that the sufficient air and moisture is there. Now your pit is ready and you can welcome redworm. Buy these redworm from the market and put it over the uh, peels of kitchen waste that you have put. Cover them loosely with a guinea bag or an old sheet of cloth or a layer of grass. Your redworm needs food. You can give them vegetable and fruit waste, coffee, tea, remains, and weeds from the field of garden. It might be good idea to bury this food about 2 to 3 centimeters in the. Do not use food items that has salt, pickle, oil, vinegar, meat, and milk preparation as food for your redworm. Is not good for. If you put these things in the pit, disease causing small organism starts growing in the pit. Once in a few days, you have to gently just mix and move the top layer of the pit. Redworm do not have teeth. They have a structure called gizzard, which helps them in grinding their food. You can use powder shells, eggshells, or seashell could be mixed with the waste. This would help redworm to grind their food. A redworm can eat equal amount of food of its weight in a day. Redworm do not survive in very hot or a very cold surrounding. We have to take care of the weather. They should need and they need a moisture around them. If you take good care of the worms, they will double in a month. Now, observe the content in the pit carefully after 3 to 4 weeks. You will realize that when you open the pit, you will observe that the food item that it has become like a soil. Now your uh, vermicompost is ready. Now, what you have to do is when you're vacating, you have to vacate that, take it out, remove the compost from it. So, what you have to do in a corner, put fresh vegetable peels in it so that the worms move towards the corner to eat that food, and rest of the vermicompost is ready for you. You can take it out. Now again, put it again in the same way, add some more vegetable peels and other for another group. You use this excellent vermicompost in your pot, gardens, or pool. It is a best waste which can be used for your plant. If you have a bigger ground, you can use a bigger pit, and if you have a smaller place, you can use a smaller. You can save lot of money by not buying expensive chemical fertilizers and manure from the market. Now, what you must do, we must think and throw. Have you ever realized how much of garbage we are throwing every day? How much garbage is coming out of your home and then in your society, and how many people are living? We are generating mountains of garbage every day. Let us understand a story of a boy called Nanu who was studying in class 6. He was very fond of tearing off the pages of the copies, notebooks, and making airplanes out of it. And his mother used to get very annoyed. Once he went to a village to visit his auntie with his mother for a vacation. He was amazed at the variety of things his cousin had made, Sham had made. He had made files from old chart, greeting cards decorated with flowers, made pencil shaving mats from old cloths, a basket from used old polythene bags. Where Nanu liked it very much. Sham had even made diaries from the invitation card. One day he saw his aunt, grandma Nani. She was putting a thick layer around the basket. Nanu asked her, "What are you doing?" She said, "This is paper mache." And he said, "Why are you a paper mache?" It is made up of paper and clay, and she is using some rice husk also. And he asked her, "Why are you using it to make it?" She said, "To make it strong." His nani asked him, "Would you like to learn paper mache?" He said he was not fond of making anything. He went away. Again, he started tearing pages from his notebook and made it paper planes, and was cutting and throwing bits of paper everywhere. And Sham was collecting everything and keeping it, and he was wondering why he is keeping with him. Now, in few days, Nanu had his birthday, and Sham had planned a party for his friends. So Nanu took out some money from his mud pot and went to the market. He bought some nice shiny paper hats, and he asked the shopkeeper to give it, and shopkeeper gave it to him in a paper bag. Then he went for buying biscuits and other things, and he insisted the shopkeeper to give him polythene bag, and he did not give him any polythene bag. So he had to manage and bring all the things in his by on carrying it in his hand, and it was very difficult for him to carry things in his hand, as Sham had told him to carry a cloth bag. But he felt sorry. Why didn't he listen to the his cousin? Nanu's friend enjoyed the feast, his birthday, and played many games. Sham had made beautiful paper mache masks for all his friends. He had a special gift for Nanu. He had made a photo frame again from the paper mache. So Nanu was very thrilled and he was very excited. When he returned home, he realized how much it was different, this life of city and life of village. The village was neat and clean, nothing was there. There were no rag pickers over there, because what they used to do is they were throwing less of garbage outside and they were recycling it. Let's understand how we can recycle a paper. Let's take old newspaper and other magazine and ever, and we are not using any shiny plastic coated paper, and make small pieces of it and put it in water for a night overnight. Now, next day, make a thick paste of paper by ponding it. Now spread the wet paste on the wire mesh fixed to the frame. Pat it gently to make the thickness of the layers of the paste as uniform as possible, because it has to be straight. Wait till the water drains off. If required, spread old cloth or sheet of newspaper on the paste to let it soak up the extra water. Now carefully remove the layer of plastic from the frame. Spread it on a sheet of newspaper in the sun. Keep the corners on the newspaper and press it with some weight so that the corners don't curl. You can use small flowers or leaves to give it a different shapes and colors to it. Now your paper mache sheet is ready. You can make different items out of it. Now let's understand, is plastic boom or curse? Some kind of plastic can be recycled but not all. You have noticed that the items that you had kept in when we did our activity one were kept in your polythene did not get recycled, and they were like this, and there was a smell in it. So you have understood how bad the polythene is. It may be very difficult to imagine our life without plastic, but like we cannot go without toys, shoes, bags, pen, comb, toothbrush, and many other items. Your refrigerator, your television, the outer body of the television is made. The use of plastic in itself not creates so much problem arises only when we use plastic extensively and ignorantly. We throw it away, disposing of the waste. This is what is happening all around the world. We might even be acting irresponsible, knowing well about the harmful effects. Sometimes we take our eatable food items in a plastic, which should not be done because they are not suitable. Consuming food packets in such plastic bag could be very harmful for our health. So what happens, sometimes the shopkeeper use plastic bag that have been used earlier for some other purpose. These rag pickers also, they pick up the plastic from the garbage, they clean it and then use it. Then they are used again. And if the food item is stored in these plastic bags, it is very very harmful for us. So the government has laid down some rules of approving such kind of plastic. They don't approve all kinds of plastic gives out harmful gases upon heating or burning. These gases may cause health problems including cancer. So we should not burn plastic things. You must have seen that, you must have noticed that people often fill garbage in a plastic bag and throw it out. And when these stray animals like cow eat this, they can eat the plastic along with, they can swallow this, and they sometimes fall ill or may even die. This plastic thrown away carelessly on the road can block the sewage system also, which can resulting in the drains are choked and the water of the drains are on the roads. During heavy rains also, this creates flood-like situation. Now let us understand how we can minimize overuse of plastic. We should use minimum use of plastic bag. Reuse the plastic bag whenever it is possible to do so without any adverse effect. Insist shopkeeper to give you paper bag, or you can carry your cloth bag or a jute bag with you. Do not use plastic bag to store eatables. Do not throw your plastic bag here and there. Never burn plastic bags and other plastic items. Do not put your garbage in a plastic bag. Use vermicomposting at home and deal with your kitchen waste usefully. Recycle paper. Use both sides of the paper to write. Make your family, friend, other to follow proper practice for disposing different kind of waste. The most important point to know is that